Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am here to give a little information about overthinking. You have never thought like that for a long time. It might take up for a lot of your time. But what you think is something is not uncommon. In fact, yourself realize that the things you think about are excessive. It could be that you think about the things that have happened in the past, aka even that you have experienced, and you keep thinking about them. This accident, maybe because you were hurt, or because you were embraced on someone. Or if you not the past, it could be what you think about the event you will have in the future, and you are worried about them. Worry because you may worry because you won't able to handle problems that occur in the future, and maybe many you experience the end when you want to sleep. Yes, thinking about these things let into the light even though you had turned off your light hours earlier. This was just because human mind running here and there, either thinking about the past or thinking about the future. And what do you calm this thought? One of which is maybe you take a cell phone from your set or for your pillow, open social media for a long time, take your cell phone, but still can't sleep. Sounds simple. The bottom line in insomnia, the simple problems, even indirectly, is that if it happens continuously for days, weeks, it will interfere with your rest, and the end make your health not optimal. As a result, this is very affect many things, one of which your productivity that is not optimal. Well, if you have experienced all those things, don't worry, because this video I will discuss the reason why you experience this and how do you want to at least I can handle this better. Good. Well, you are experiencing in called overthinking. In Indonesian, in meaning is simple, mostly thinkers. Overthinking occurs when your brain thinks about something even though you may not think about in the purpose. So I have to think about it. Usually, this overthinking occurs because of two types of thought that arise, like what I said earlier, namely thoughts about the past of thought about the future. For example, when you think about the past, chances are is because if you have regrets that you haven't been able to process, you haven't been able to move on from it. Maybe you think like, why did I experience it first? Or might look something like this. Trying doing X, I definitely want experience Y. Now, thus assembly. And for this other example, so why this happening? What does this mean? Now, the case of this. Why this is happening? It can be a message from your brain that there are very problem that you haven't received in the past. So you can get over the problem, so you keep thinking is thinking about past. What if in the future maybe your brain is worried anxious about what will happen to you, so you are afraid like that. In my opinion, a pretty powerful way to reduce this thought is accept the problem that have occurred of accept the things all you think will happen in the future, whatever it's how. Within realizing it, there are maybe many problems that are still lingering in your mind. It could be that this problem have not been resolved. So what's interesting is this. Suppose someone asks you right now about the problem you are having about overthinking. Most likely you will be a hard time answering what your problem, why is it difficult, because chances are you will be confused like that, because it feels a lot and you don't know where to start to answer. This is what happened the most people are overthinking. Therefore there were first steps that can be done here. What the first step? First, you need to start making a list. In fact, what problem do you think and what thought always cross your mind when you think about much? My advice is don't just think about in your brain. Try to write down the problem while writing. Why should it be written? Because often you don't realize that sometimes what you think a lot about when you think too much might already have thought a lot before. So overthinking continues. Why? Because maybe you have never written in before. Your brain thinks again for everything. The problem is thinking, wow, from the Y to Z, and this may make it seem as though the problem has never been resolved in your brain, may never have been written. When you're writing down your problem, if for example one day you start think too much, you can check your previous writing. If you think about it beforehand, you just don't need think about the square. You don't think to about again. So if you write in it, there will indirectly be a structure that you apply. So, and thank you for coming my video, and assalamualaikum.